Primetime Olympic coverage is typically reserved for big events like swimming, track and field, and gymnastics. But bubbling below the surface are dozens of lesser-known sports like team handball, race walking, and table tennis. Edmonton has a huge presence in all of those sports, with local clubs harboring Olympic-caliber athletes. Now, we have a sports panel this morning with a few people from those clubs. John Kim is a board member at the Edmonton Table Tennis Club. Phil Vesti is an Olympic race walker who competed at the 1984 Los Angeles Games, and Craig Fisher is a member of the Canadian team handball squad. Hello to all of you.
Hello.
John, let's start with you. Table tennis is getting more attention during these Olympic Games, but why do you think overall it's not that mainstream?
I think, if you lived in China or a lot of parts of Europe, like say the UK or Spain, Portugal, Germany, where it's a huge hit. I mean, there are professional leagues over there, and it's just that Canada is one of those places, like the United States and other northern hemisphere kind of countries where it's kind of a pastime here. Hockey, lacrosse, basketball, soccer, those mainstream sports dominate, and table tennis is seen more as a recreational kind of thing.
Yeah. And do you think it also harms its popularity because there aren't any big-name Canadians in contention for medals?
That's true. I mean, I know who the Canadian athletes are because I watch it a lot online and watch all the highlights on the YouTube channel, but short of that, you're never going to see them on TV except for a quick mention or like a photo op with a PM, but that's about it. So
yeah. Too bad though. I saw the China final for the men's, and that was just the craziest thing. That's high level, sweat pouring off of you, really, really, really good to watch. So Craig, can you explain team handball a little, and why do you call it the fastest game on land?
So the easiest way to explain team handball to someone would say it's water polo on land. But saying water polo on land, people think it's slow, and water polo is only 5 or 6 goals in the game or something like that, right? Where in handball there's a goal every 45 to 60 seconds.
Is that right?
Yeah, and the courts, it's bigger than a basketball court, so it's actually quite a large playing area. And to score, I was in Argentina, and the team turned the ball over, the other team ran 40 meters, scored a goal, and the other team had the ball back within 4 seconds.
Oh my gosh.
So it's incredibly fast. Any mistake is a goal right away. So.
Yeah. So what would be a typical score for any average game?
Yeah, so there are 2 30-minute halves, and an average goals game or a score would be about 30-30, so about a goal a minute.
Now, this is my biggest complaint about soccer. I'm probably going to get a ton of hate mail for saying this, but it's so slow. It's often 0-0. I mean, that's not too exciting for me to watch.
Yeah.
So really, there should be a lot more people watching team handball.
No, absolutely. There's tons of goals, and it's fast and physical, and kind of what Americans want, right? It's fast, physical, and lots of action.
Yeah. Okay, Phil, to you. You actually represented Great Britain during the 1984 Olympics in race walking. How competitive is your sport?
Well, it's like our other panelists here. It's not that competitive in Canada, but other parts of the world it is very competitive. Hundreds and thousands of competitors in some countries. The Russians, Chinese are very big. The Italians, Spanish, Germans are very much into it. South America, Central America, very, very competitive in those parts of the world.
Yeah. It's one of those sports that a lot of people like to maybe poke a little fun at because of the way it looks, but there's so much technique behind it.
Oh, absolutely. It's very much like marathon running, but you have to hold your technique.
Yeah, and there's actually a lot of doping in the sport, so I've learned.
Unfortunately, yes.
Which is, unexpected.
Well, that's just shows the competitive nature in other parts of the world that they would go to those lengths to try and get that little bit of advantage.
Yeah. So what do you guys think would make the difference, or what should happen to make these sports get the respect that they deserve? Let's go back to you, John.
I think just more visibility, something being on a panel like this. Certainly our listeners out there in Edmonton can hear that, hey, there are strong and vibrant clubs. You just have to know where to look, or have to know where to listen. So that's number one. And also just more support from all our government, like from the local level all the way to
Yeah.
provincial to the national, but mainly in the local and the provincial level.
Yeah.
We really do need that support for just advertising and promoting our sport.
Would you say that funding is lower for your sports than the highlight sports?
Just for me personally, like as a national team player, I had to pay last year about $10,000 to play on the national team.
You had to pay that.
I had to pay that to play on the national team. Whereas you look at,
Wow.
with all due respect to the soccer players, you know, they're having free trips to Mexico a week before, you know, training camps to be prepared, right? It was like, okay, maybe we can cut back on that a little bit and give some of our other national team athletes funding. So,
And how is that decided what sport gets how much? Do you know?
I believe it's all based on results.
Oh.
So the more you win and the more funding you get, right?
But then the more funding you get, the more you win,
right?
usually.
So if you look at the Podium program, right?
Yeah.
Those athletes are getting funding and you see the results, right? So it's kind of a give and take kind of thing. So.
Yeah, yeah. Tell us how we can get involved in your sports here in Edmonton. Let's start with you, Phil.
Okay, well, I'm a member of the Edmonton Racewalk Club. They have a website that have contact details and get in touch with us. There's some details about where people train. There's a Savile Centre and various of the city recreation centres have either race walking or walking for fitness programs in them.
Okay.
For handball, there's a Alberta Team Handball League, which is primarily based out of Edmonton. There's clubs all throughout Edmonton, Sherwood Park, Red Deer. Just go online, teamhandball.ab.ca, and sign up. And it's a great team, great league. It's awesome.
Perfect.
Yep.
John?
For our club, it's edmontontabletennis.ca. So just go to that website, click on the calendar, and then look for our play times. We play 5 days a week. We're kind of on a break for the summer, but our home is the Savile Centre.
Okay.
And we play there 4 times a week, and then we play at Rundle Park once a week, and then also other there are tons of other smaller clubs in Edmonton where you can play in Chinatown and in other places. So just all you have to do is look on the internet. Yep.
Awesome.
Yep.
Well, thank you all for coming in this morning. I know it was a short chat, but I'm glad that we got to highlight some of these lesser-known sports.
Thank you very much.
And good luck to you all.
Thank you. Yep.
John Kim is a board member at the Edmonton Table Tennis Club. Phil Vesti is an Olympic race walker who competed at the 1984 Los Angeles Games. And Craig Fisher is a member of the Canadian Team Handball Squad.